we're finally doing it. We're doing it. We're live. We're kicking. We're gonna get going with my Immortal again. Get through this hellish nightmare experience that I've imbibed in. Oh, sweet Christ. Oh. Alright, back to where I was. Harry Potter, My Immortal, Midnight Essence, Rated M, if you're not aware. I'm just recapping. Involves Draco Malfoy OC, 24,000 words, 3,000 favorites, 1,000 follows. Published in 2011, last updated in 2016. So quite the run on this bit of, I was gonna say content, but I feel like that's a bit disingenuous for what I'm reading. Yeah, it's something. It's something. And actually, get the evening going with some juice. Yep, that's 50%. Yep. Okay, I apologize for the coughing. It's killing me. Okay. Chapter 21. Fuck. You okay? You fucking suck. It not my fault if it's spelled wrong. Oh, this is just a note from the author. I'm skipping this. Dear God. Later we all went in the skull. Draco was crying in the common room. Draco, are you okay? I asked in a gothic voice. No, I'm not, you fucking bitch, he shouted angrily. He stated to run out of the place in a suicidal way. I stated to cry because I was afraid he would commit suicide. It's okay, Anobi, said Vampire comfortably. I'll make him feel better. You mean you'll go fuck him, won't you? I shouted angrily. Then I ran to get Draco. Vampire came too. It's apologies, My Immortal. We're continuing My Immortal. Draco, please come, he began to cry. Tears of blood came down his pale face. I was so turned on because I love sensitive bi guys. And then we heard some footsteps. Vampire got out his black invincibility coke. We both got under it. We saw the janitor, Mr. Norris, there, shouting angrily with a flashlight in his hand. Who's there? He shouted angrily. We saw Filth come. He went under the invisibility cloak and started to meow loudly. Is anyone there? Yelled Mr. Norris. No, fuck you, you preppy little poser son of a fucking bitch, Vampire said under his breast in a disgusted way. I just realized I forgot to send the link to this as I'm reading this, so give me 2 seconds. I'm going to drop that in chat real quick. I don't want to pull you out of the immersion that this is. Immersive content. Go into chat. That's whispers. Is there an easy way to go into stream? Oh, here we go. Take a shot every time preps are mentioned. Okay, well, we'll see about that. We'll see how that goes. I'll just take a sip from the cup because it's pretty strong. There, should have a link to the fanfic now. And yeah, it did 50% Malibu, which is 21% in and of itself, so half a red solo cup. We'll see how it goes. Anywho, as I was, no, fuck you, you preppy little poser son of a fucking bitch, Vampire said under his breast in a disgusted way. Excuse me, who said that? Yelled Mr. Norris. Then he heard Filch meow. Filth, is there anyone under the cloak, he asked. Filth nodded, and then Vampire Frenched me. He did it just as Mr. Norris was taking of the cloak. What the? He yelled, but he was too late because now we were ruining away from him. And then we saw Draco crying and busting into tears and slitting his wrists outside of the school. Draco, I cried, are you okay? I guess, though, Draco wept. We went back to our coffins, Frenching each other. Draco and I decided to watch Lake Placid on the gothic red bed together. As I was about to put in the video, my eyes rolled up and suddenly I had a vision of something that was happening now. There was a knock on the door, and Fug and the Mystery of Magic walked into the school. Chapter 22. All day everyone talked about the misery of magic. Well, anyway, I woke up the next day. I was in my coffin, so I opened the door. I was wearing black lacy leather pajamas. Then I gasped. Standing in front of me were Bloody Mary, Vampire, Diabolo, Draco, Dracula, and Willow. I opened my crimson eyes. Willow was wearing a tight black leather top with pictures of bloody roses all over it. Under that, she wore a black poofy skirt with lace on it and black gothic boots that was attached to the top. Vampire was wearing baggy, simple plan t-shirt and baggy black pants and Vans. Draco was wearing a black MCR t-shirt and black jeans and a leather jacket. He looked just like Gerard Way and almost as fucking sexy. Vampire looked like Joel Madden. Bloody Mary was wearing a tight black poofy gothic dress that she had ripped so it showed all of her cleavage with a white apron that said Baish and other swear words and MCR lyrics on it, kind of like one dress I had seen Amy Lee wear once. Darkness, who is Jenny, was there too. She was weaving a ripped gothic black dress with ripped stuff all over it and a lace-up top thing and black pointy boots. So were Crab and Goyle. Turns out that Darkness, Diabolo, Crab, and Goyle's dad was a vampire. He committed suicide by slitting his wrist with a razor. He then assaulted them and stuff before too. They all got so depressed that they became gothic and converted to Stanism. My favorite religion. OMFG, I yielded as I jumped up. Why the fuck are you all here? Anobi, something is really fucked up, Draco said. Okay, but I need to put on my fucking clothes first, I shouted angrily. It's alright, we have to go now. You look kawaii anyway. You're so fucking beautiful, Draco said in a sexy voice. Oh, alright, I said, smiling. But you have to tell me why you're being all erective. I will, he said. So I just put on some black eyeliner, black lipstick, and red eyeshadow, and white foundation. Then I came. We all went outside the Great Hall and looked in from a widow. A fucking prep called Brittany from Gryffindor was standing next to us. She was wearing a pink mini and a Hilary Duff t-shirt, so we put up our middle fingers at her. Inside the Great Hall, we could see Dumbledore. Cornelia Fudge was there shouting at Dumbledore. Doris Rumbridge was there, too. Cripes. This cannot be, she shouted angrily. The school must be closed. The Bark Lord is planning to kill the students, yelled Cornelia Fudge. You are not fit to be the principal any longer, yelled Rumbridge. You are too old and your Alzheimer's is dangerous. You must retry or Voldemort will kill your students. Very well, Dumbledore said angrily. But we cannot do this. We can't close the school. There's only one person who's capable of killing Voldemort, and she is in the school. And her name is Anoni Darkness Dementia Raven Way. Draco, Crab, Goyle, Darkness, Willow, Vampire, and Bloody Mary looked at each other. I gasped. Chapter 23. The door opened and Professor Rumbridge and Cornelia Fudge stomped out angrily. Then Dumbledum and Rumbridge sawed us. Mr. Way, what the beep are you doing? Rumbridge shouted angrily. Dumbledore blared at her. Oops, she made a mistake. He corrupted her. She means hi, everybody, come in. Well, we all came in angrily. So did all the other students. I sat between Darkness and Draco and opposite Bloody Mary. Crab and Goyle started to make some morbid jokes. They both looked exactly like Vilvoyo. I'm not going to try that. I ate, like the number, some Count Chocula and drank some blood from a cup. Then I heard someone shooting angrily. I looked behind me. It was Vampire. He and Draco were shooting at each other. Vampire, Draco, what the fuck? I asked. You fucking bastard, I yelled Draco at Vampire. I want to shit next to her. No, I do, shouted. No, she doesn't fucking like you, you son of a bitch, yelled Draco. No, fuck you, motherfucker. She slaves me, not you, shouted Vampire. And then he jumped on Draco. No, not in that way, you perv. They started to fight and beat up each other. Dumbledore yelled at them, but they didn't stop. All of a sudden, a terrible man with red eyes and no nose flew in on a broomstick. He had no nose and was wearing a gray robe. All the glass in the window he flew through fell apart. Brittany, that fucking prep, started to cry. Vampire and Draco stopped fighting. I stopped eating. Everyone gasped. The room fell silent. Voldemort! This is only going downhill. This is only going downhill. Abobi, Abobi, Ebony, Darth Vader said evilly in his raspy voice. Thou have failed your mission. Now I shall kill thou, and I shall kill vampire as well. If thou does not kill him then I shall kill Draco too. Please don't make me kill him, please. Wait, please don't make me kill him, please, I begged. No, he laughed crudely. Kill him, or I shall kill him anyway. Then he flew away cackling. I burst into tears. Draco and Vampire came to contort me. Suddenly my eyes rolled up, so they looked all cool and gothic. I had a vision where I saw some lightning flash, and then Voldemort coming to kill Draco while Draco slit his wrists in a depressed way. No! I screamed sexily. Suddenly, I locked up and stopped having the vision. Ebony, are you alright? Asked Draco in a worried voice. Yeah, I said sadly as I got up. Everything's alright, Anobi, said Vampire, all sensitive. No, it's not, I shouted angrily. Tears of blood went down my face. OMFG, what if I'm getting possessed, like in The Ring 2? It's okay, girl, said Bloody Mary. Maybe you should ask Professor Sinister about what the visions mean, though. Okay, Baish, I said sadly, and then we went. Chapter 24. Well, we had deviation next, so I got to ask Professor Trevelry about the visions. Konnichiwa, everyone, come in, said Professor Sinister in Japanese. She smelled at me with her gothic black lipstick. She's the coolest fucking teacher ever. She had long, dead black hair with blood-red tips and red eyes. Her mom was a vampire. She's also half Japanese, so she speaks it and everything. She and Bloody Mary get along great. She's really young for a teacher. Today she was wearing a black leather top with red lace and a long gothic black ripped dress. We went inside the black classroom with pastors of Emily the Strong. I raised my hand. I was wearing some black nail polish with red pentagrams on it. What is it, Emily? She asked. Hey, I love your nail polish. Where'd you get it? Hot Topic? Yeah, I answered. All the preps who don't know what HT was gave me weird looks. I gave them the middle finger. Well, I have to talk to you about some things. When do you want to do it? Oh, boy. How about now? She asked. Okay, I said. Okay, class fucking dismissed everyone, Professor Trevelry said, and she let everyone go, except for you, Brittany. She pointed at Brittany and some other preps. Please do exorcise 1 on page 3. That was a fast turnaround on that drink. Oh, this is only going to accelerate. Okay, I'm having lots of visions, I said in a worried voice. I'm so worried Draco's going to die. She gave me a black crystal ball to lock in. I looked at it. What do you see? She asked. I said I see a black gothic skull and a pentagram. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. I looked at it. It was Draco. He was looking really sexy, wearing a black leather facet, a black gothic Linkin Park t-shirt, and black Congress shoes. Okay, you can go now. See ya, cunt, said Professor Sinister. Bye, bitch, I said, waving. I went to Draco, and Vampire was sitting next to him. We both followed Draco together, and I was so exhibited. Chapter 25. I was so excited. I followed Draco, wondering if we were going to do it again. I went outside, and we went into Draco's black car. Ebony, what the fuck did Professor Trevelry say? Whispered Draco, potting his gothic wit hand with black nail polish on mine. She said she would tell me what the visions meant tomorrow, I grumbled in a sexy voice. He took out a heron cabaret and spiked it and gave it to me to Spork. He started to fly the car into a tree. We went to the top of it. Draco put on some MCR. And all the things that you never ever told me, and all the smiles that are ever gonna haunt me, sang Gerard's sexy voice. We started tiling off each other's clothes fervently. He took off my black thong and my black leather bar. I took off his black boxers. Then he put his throbbing you-know-what in my tool sexily. OMFG, Draco, I screamed, having an orgasm. We started Frenching passively. Suddenly, I fell asleep. I started having a dream. In it, a black guy was shooting two gothic men with long black hair. No, please don't fucking kill us, they pleaded, but just kept shooting at them. He ran away in a red car. No! Oh my fucking god, I shouted in a scared voice. Ebony, what's wrong? Draco asked me as I woke up, opening my icy blue eyes. I started to cry and tears of blood went down my face. I told Draco to call Vampire. He did it with his black Lincoln Park Mobile. But the worst thing was who the people who were shot in the dream were Lucian and Sirius. Page 10, Chapter 26. Oh. A few mutates later, Vampire came to the tree. He was wearing a black leather jacket, black leather pants, and a good Charlotte t-shirt. Hi, Vampire, I said flirtily as I started to sob. Draco hugged me sexily, trying to confront me. I started to cry tears of blood and told him what happened. Oh, fuck it, Vampire shouted angrily. He started to cry sadly. What fucking dick did that? I don't know, I said. Now come on, we have to tell Dumbledore. We ran out of the tree and into the castle. Dumbledore was sitting in his office. Sire, our dads have been shot, Draco said, while we whipped some tears from his white face. Anobi had a vision in a dream. Dumbledore started to cockle. Ha 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 ha. And how do you expect me to know Ebony's not divisional? I glared at Dumbledore. Look, motherfucker, he said angrily as Dumbledore gasped. See... Oh, I can't even read that. I'm not going to try. You know very well that I'm not decisional. Now get some fucking people out there to look for Ceres and Lucian. Pornto. Okay, he said in an intimidated voice. Where are they? I thought about it. Then all of a sudden, Longden, I said. I told him which street. He went and called some people and did some stuff. After a few mistunes, he came back and said people were going out looking for them. After a while, someone called him again. He said that they had been found. Draco, Vampire, and I all left to our rooms together. I went with Draco to wait in the nurse's office while Vampire went to slit his wrists in his room. We looked at each other's gothic, derperesque eyes. Then we kissed. Suddenly, Sirius and Lucian came in on stretchers, and Professor Sinister was behind them. Chapter 27. Vampires will never hurt you. Everyone in this room started to cry happily. I had saved them. Draco, Lucian, Sirius, Bond, Vampire all came to hug me. The nurse started to give them medicine. Come on, Anobi, said Professor Sinatra. She was wearing a gothic black leader dress with a corset top and real vampire blood on it and fucking black platinum boots. I have to tell you the fucking perdition. I looked at Lucian, Seraphs, Drake, and Vampire. They nodded. I smelled happily and went into a dark room. I had changed Professor Sinister, took out some black cards. She started to look into a black crucible ball. She said, Tara, I see Drac times are near. She said badly. She peered into the balls. You see, you must go back in time. She took out a time toner like Bloody Mary had. When Voldemort was in Hogwarts, before he became powerful, he got his hearth broken. Now, do you think he would still become Voldemort if he was in love? I shook my head. You must go back in time and seduce him. It's the only way. If he is still evil, then you must kill him. You can come to my room tomorrow and you can do it. Okay, I said sadly. We did death's touch sin. I went outside again sadly. What fucking happened? Asked Draco and Vampire. Yeah, what happened? Asked Darkness, Willow, and Boldy Mary. I was about to tell them, but everyone was there. They were celebrating Lucian and Sirius being fond. Everyone was proud of me, but I just wanted to talk to Draco. They were cheesing my name, and some reporters were there, trying to interview Dumbledore. A banner was put up. Lots of fucking preps were there, obviously, trying to be gothic, wearing the hymn sign on their hands, despite them not having actually heard of him. Even Mr. Norris looked happy. A black and red cake had been brought out. Krabby and Goik set up some fireworks in the shape of skulls from Wesley's Wizard Wises. I put on my invisibility cloak with Vampire and Draco, and we sneaked outside together. Chapter 28. We went into a black room. The walls were black with portraits of gothic bands like MCR, GC, and Marilyn Manson all over them. A big black coffin was in the middle, red velvet lined black box. There were 3 chairs made of bones with real skulls in them. I was wearing a black corset bar with purple stuff on it, fishnet suckings, and a black leather thong underneath. I sat down. That can't be comfortable. There's no way that's comfortable. I sat down on one of the... it's the bones and the leather thong. It just... none of that's comfortable. I sat down on one of the chairs dispersedly. So did Draco and Vampire. Are you okay? Vampire asked, potting his albastarred hand on mine. He was wearing black nail polish. I was wearing black nail polish with red crosses on it. Yeah, I guess, I said sadly. Draco also pot his hand on mine sexily. I smiled sadly with my black lipstick. The problem is, I have to seduce Volk some more. I'll have to go back in time. Draco started to cry sadly. Vampire hugged him. It's okay, Abobi, he said finally. But what about me? You're not going to break up or anything, are you? Of course not, I gasped. Really? He asked. Sure. We Frenched sexily. Vampire looked at us longingly. Then, I took off Draco's MCR shrift and seductively took of his pants. He was hung like a Stallone. He had replaced the vampire tattoo that said Anobi on it. Black roses were around it. I gasped. He looked exactly like Gerard Way. Vampire took a video camera. I took of my clothes, then we were in for the rid of our liff. We started Frenching as we climbed into the coffin. He put his Spock in mine you-know-what, and passively we did it. I love you, Abobi. Oh, let me feel you. I need to feel you, he screamed as we got an orgasm. Wow, we spelled it right this time. We watched Vampire, filmed everything perfectly. Suddenly, what the fuck are you doing? It was Snope and Professor McGoggle. Chapter 29. Oh, my Satan, we screamed as we jamped out the coffin. Snap and Professor McGoonagall started to shout at us angrily. Come now, Preacher McGonagall yielded. We did guiltily. We left the room putting on our clothes. Snoop garbed the caramel and put it in his pocket. Hey, what the fuck? Vampire shooted angrily. Yeah, Buster, what the fuck are you gonna do with the fucking camera? Draco demanded, all protective, looking at me longly with his red gothic red eyes. Look, Dumbledore knows your little secret, and if you do this again, then you will go to St. Margot's. So give back the camera. Ha ha ha, the mystery of Mogic thinks he's crazy. There's no way they will believe him, Snoop laughed meanly. Yes, so shut your mouth, you insolent fools. Innocent fools, yelled Professor McGoggle. She made us come into a weird room with white stones all around it. There were all these weird tools in it. Draco started to cry, all sexy and sexative. Oh, there's a parenthesis sentence here that just broke my brain. That's what that just was. The noise that escaped me was like smoke coming out of my ears just then. Get it? Cause he's a sex bum, lol Tom fell not rules for lift, but not as much as Gerard, your sex on legs, I love you, you fucking rock, marry me, exclamation point 111. Oh. I started to cry tears of blood. It happens in Vampire Chronicles. Raven said so. Okay, so fuck you. This is also in parentheses. Vampire took out a black handkerchief and started to wipe my red eyes. And then, he and Snoop both took out guns using magic. They started to shoot each other angrily. None of the ballots got on each other yet. I took out my wand. Croisio, I shouted. Snap started to scram. He dropped the gun, but it was too late. Both of them had run out of ballots. I stopped the curse. Professor McGoogle did a spell so that we were all chained up. She took out a box of tools. Then she said, okay, Severus, I'm going to go now. She left. Snap started to laugh evilly. Vampire started to cry. It's okay, Anobi, said Draco. Evergreen will be all right. Remember the Sidio you took of Snake? Snape laughed again. Then he took out some whips. Okay. Chapter 30. No, we screamed sadly. Snap started loafing meanly. He took out a camera and Villy. Then he came towards Darko. He took some stones out of his pocket. He put the stones around Draco and knit a candle. What the fuck are you doing? I shouted. I shooted angrily. Snoop laughed meanly. He pulled down his pants. I gasped. There was a dork mark on his you-know-what. He waved his wand and a knife came. He gave the knife to me. You must stab Rompier, he said to me. If you don't, then I'll... Oh, it gets into assault. Jesus. No, you fucking bastard. Okay. Reading this is atrocious. I just want to point out that there's somebody with their pants on the ground. Voldemort, I believe, or Snape has his pants around the floor, a dark mark on his penis, and is about to assault the vampire, which is Harry. I just figured I'd clarify that for reasons. Snipe laughed angrily. He started to pray Volk some more. Then he started to do an incapacitation dancing around the Stokes, whipping Draco and Vampire. Suddenly, an idea I had. I closed my eyes and used my vampire powers. I sent a telepathic message to Draco and Vampire so they would destruct Snape. Dumbledore will get you, Draco shooted. Yeah, just wait until the mystery find out, Vampire yelled. Meanwhile, I took out my wand. You ridiculous donderhead, Snoop yielded. He took off all of Draco's clothes, just as he was about to assault him. Croisio, I shitted, pointing my wound. Snoop scrammed and started running around the room screaming. Meanwhile, I grabbed my black mobile and sent a text to Sirius. I stopped doing Crucio. You dunderhead, I'm going to kill, shooted Snake, but suddenly Severus came. Snake put the whip behind his back. Oh, hello, Sev, I was just teaching them something. He lied. But suddenly... Lucian and Professor Travolri came into the room, and they and Sirius unlocked the chains and put them around Snap. Then Professor Travolri said, Come on, Ebony, let's go. Chapter 31. I always knew you were on Voldemort's side, you son of a biker, Sirius said to Snape. No, I'm not. I was teaching them something, Snap clammed. Oh, fucking yeah? I took some black... Voldemort serum out of my pocket and gave it to Severus. He made Snap drink it. He did angrily. Then Lucius took out a tape recorder and started playing it while he did curses on Snap. Then Professor Sinister and Lucian made us get out with them while Snape told his secrets. Lucian told Vampire and Draco to the nurse after thanking me a million times. Professor Travolri took me to a dark room. Now I was going to go back in time to Sedaus Volksamort. Moving posters of MCR Nirvana were all over. Hermione, Darkness, and Willow came too. Bloody Mary gave me a black bag from Tom Ridd's store. What's in the bag? I asked Professor Travolri. You will see, she said. I opened the bag. It was a sexy, tight, low-smut, black leather gothic dress. It had red corset stuff, and there was a big slit up the leg. I put it on. My friends helped me put on black fishnets and black pointy boots Willow had chosen. Willow and Darkness helped me put on black eyeliner and blood red lipstick. You look fucking kawaii, bitch, Bloody Mary said. Fangs, I said. Okay, now you're gonna go back and Tim, said Professor Sinister. You'll have to do it in a few sessions. She gave me a black gun. I put it in a strap on my fishnets like in Redisnet Evil. She gave me a black time turner. After an hour, use the time turner to go back here, Professor Travolri said. And then she and Bloody Mary put a pensive in front of me. Everyone went in front of it. Good luck, everyone shooted. Darkness and Willow gave me Death's Touch Sin. Then I jumped sexily into the pensive. Suddenly, I was in front of Tescool. In front of me was one of the sexiest goth guys I'd ever seen. He was wearing long black hair, kind of like Mikey Way, only black. He had green eyes like Billy Joe Armstrong and pale wit skin. He was wearing a black ripped-up suit with Vans. It was Tom Bobati. Chapter 32. Hi, I said flirtily. I'm a Nobi Way, the new student. I shook my pale hands with their black nail polish with him. The name's Tom, he said. But you can call me Satan. That's my middle name. We shook hands. Come on, we have to go upstairs, Satan said. I followed him. Hey, Satan, do you happen to be a fan of Green Day? I asked. Oh my fucking god, how did you know? Satan gasped. I actually like GC a lot too. OMG, me too, I replied happily. Guess what? They have a concert in Hogsmeade, Satan whispered. Hogsmeade? Yeah, that's what they used to call it in these time before it became Hogsmeade in 2000. He told me all secretively. And there's a really cool shop called Hot Topic, I finished, happy again. He frowned confusedly. No, it's called Hot Issue. He smiled secretively again. Then in 1998, they changed it to Hot Topic, he moaned. Oh, now everything was making sense for me. So, is Dumbledore your principal? I shouted. Uh-huh. He looked at his black nails. I'm in Slytherin. OMFG, shim too, I shrieked it. You go to the skull? Yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm new, I smelled happily. Suddenly, Dumbledore flew in on his broomstick and started shredding at us angrily. No talking in the halls. He had short blonde hair and was wearing a polo from American Ogle Outfitters. Stupid goths. Satan rolled his eyes. He's so mean to us goths and punks just because we're in Slytherin and we're not preps. I turned around angrily. Actually, I think maybe it's because you're the Barky Lord. WTF, he asked angrily. Oh, nothing, I said sweetly. God. Then suddenly, the floor opened. OMFG, no, I screamed as I fell down. Everyone looked at me weirdly. Hey, where are you going? Satan asked as I fell. I got out of the hole, and it was back in the pensive in Professor Trevori's classroom. Dumbledore was there. Dumbledore, I think I just met you, I said. Oh yeah, I remembered that, Dumbledore said, trying to be all gothic. Sinister came in. Hey, this is my classroom. Wait, WTF, Anobi, what the hell are you doing? I looked at her. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. What the hell? How? He screamed, forgetting that she was a teacher for a second. But she's a goth, so it's okay. Professor Sinister looked sad. I was drinking Voldemort serum. She started to cry black tears of depression. Dumbledore didn't know about them. Hey, are you crying tears of blood? He asked curiously, touching a tear. Fuck off, we both said, and Dumbledore took his hand away. Professor Sinister started crying again in her chair, sobbing limpid tears. OMFG, Anobi, I think I'm addicted to Voldemort serum. Chapter 33. Oh my fucking god, I shooted sadly. Should we get you to St. Manga's, bitch? Hell no, she said. Lizzie Agogi, I need your help. Next, Tim, you go back in Tim. Do you think you could ask Tom Anderson for some help? Sure, I said sadly. I went outside the door. Draco was there. He was wearing a big black GCT shit, which was his Panama's. Hey, sexy, I said. How'd it go, Anobi? He asked. His voice was so sexy and low, kind of like Gerard Way when he's talking. Fine, I responded. We stared to go back into the dorm. How far did you go with Satan? Draco asked jealously. Not too far, lol, I borked. Will you have to do it with him? Draco asked angstily. I hopped not too far, I shouted angrily. Then I felt bad for shooting at him. I said sorry. We Frenched. What happened to Snipe? I growled. You will see, Draco giggled mistressly. He opened the door. Snap and Lumpkin were there. Sirius was poking them by staging them with a black knife. No, please, Lumpkin begged as Sirius started to suck his blood. I laughed statistically. I took some photons of him and Snap being torqued. We took some of Snipe's blood, then Draco and I went back to our rooms. We sat on my gothic black coffin. My clothes were kind of gritty, so I put on a black leather outfit thingy, kind of like the one Sulian has in Underworld. I put on some black platform high heels. Darko put on some Desolation Livers by MCR. Then we started to take off each other's clothes. I talk off his shit and he had a six-pack, lols. We started to mock out lick in the grudge. He put his wetness in my you-know-what, sexily. I got an orgy. Oh, Draco. Oh, me fucking good Draco. I screamed passively as he got an eructation. I love you to Ebery, he whispered sexily, and then we fell Espleep. Lol. Chapter 34. Yeah, that's the new meme. It's going from slit wrist to and we Frenched. Like that's how we end every scene, I think. And we Frenched. Oh. I woke up into coffin the next day. Draco was gone. I got up and put on a black, tight sexa dress that was all ripped at the end. There was red corset stuff going up the front and the back, and it came up to my knees. There was a slit in the dress like in Mr. and Mr. Simph. I put on black ripped fishnets and black Stilton boots. Suddenly, Sorius cocked on the door. I opened it. "Hiya, Boney," he said. "Guess what? You have to come to Professor Sinister's office." "Okay," I said in a depressed voice. I wanted to fuck Draco or maybe listen to MCR or Yvonne. This is an attempt at evanescence. It's bad. Yvonne Z-Sense. Yvonne Sense. I came anyway. "So what the fuck happened to Snipe and Lupin?" I asked Sorius flirtily. "I fucking tortured them," he answered in a statistic way. They are in Abkhazen now. Lol. I laughed evilly. "Where Draco and Vampira?" I muttered. "They are excused from school today," Sodomized moaned sexily. "Right now, they are watching The Nightmare Before Xmas." We went into the office. Professor Sinister was there. She was wearing a gothic black dress that was all ripped all over it, kind of like the one Amy Lee wears in this pic. Here's a link. She was drinking some Volksamort serum. She took out the pensive and the time torner. "Anobi, you will have to do a Nazar session now. I need you to get me the cure for being addicted," she said sadly. "Good luck, Fangs." And then I jumped into the pensive again. Suddenly I looked around. I was in the Great Hall eating Count Chorkula. It was morning. I was sitting next to Satan. On a table was a tall gothic man with long black hair, pale skin, and blue eyes, wearing a suit and black Cronveris shoes. He looked just like Charlton Manson. I noticed he was drinking a portent. "Who's he?" I asked. "Oh, that's Professor Slutborn," Satan said. "He's the potence teacher." "A Boney?" "Yeah," I asked. "Did you know that Marilyn Manson is playing in Hogsmeade tonight? And they are showing The Exercise at the movies before that." "Yeah? Well, want to go to the contort and the movie with me?" Chapter 35. Ghost of You. I went into the conman room thinking of Satan. Suddenly I gasped. Draco was there. I grasped. He looked as hot as ever, wearing black leather pants, a black Longenprack t-shirt, and black eyeliner. "Draco, what the fuck are you doing?" I gasped. "Huh?" he asked. Then I remembered. It wasn't Draco. It was Lucan. He still had 2 arms. "Oh, hi, Lucian," I said. "I'm Ebony, the new student, lol." We shook hands. "Yeah, Satan told me about you," Lucian said. He pointed to a group of sexy gothic guys. They were sitting in a corner cutting. It was serious. Vampire's dad and snap! All of them were wearing black eyeliner and black good Shralut band t-shirts. Or band shirts. "Listen, I'm in a goth band with those guys," he said. "We're playing tonight at the Marilyn Manson show as backup." Marilyn Mason show as backup. "Oh, really?" I asked. "Oh, really?" I asked. "Yeah," he said. "We're called the Black X Tier X. I play to gutter. Spartacus plays the drums," he said, pointing to him. "Snap plays the boss. And James plays the guitar. Even though we call him Samaro after Samara and the Ring." "Hey, bastards," I told them. They gave me Death Touch Sin. Suddenly, I gasped again. "But don't you have a lead singer?" I asked. Lucian looked down sadly. "We used to, but she did. She contemplated suicide by slitting her wrists." "Oh my fucking god, that's so fucking sad," I gasped. It's okay, but we need a new snigger, Samaro said. Well, I said, I'm in a banad myself. Really? Asked Snap. I couldn't believe it. He used to be Gothic. Yeah, we were called Bloody Gothic Rose 666. Do you want to hear me sing? Yeah, said everyone. So the guys talk out their guitars. They begin to play a song by Gurnday. I walked this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, I sang sexily. Everyone gasped. Anapi, will you join the band, please? Begged Lucian, Smarro, Sirius, and Snap. Okay. I shrugged. Are we going to play tonight? Yeah, they said. Okay, I said. But I knew that, and I had to get a new outfit. I walked outside, wondering how I could go forward in time. Suddenly, someone jumped in front of me. It was Morty McFly. He was wearing a black banad t-shirt and black baggy beigey jeans. What the hell are you doing here? I asked. I will help you go forward in Tim Anobi, he said seriously. Then he took out a black Tim machine. I went into it, and suddenly I was forward in Tim. This is a whole new crossover. Wait. Okay, so chapter 12, or page 12, whatever. This appears to be an update from 5 years later after this was published. This is the 2016 update. Hi, everyone. There seems to be some confusion. I just logged into my account for the first time in about 5 years, and I realized I'm still getting reviews and PMs regarding this fic. I'm not the author, and I never intended for it to seem that way. If you look at the first chapter called Intro, I wrote my preface that obviously I did not write this. My Immortal was well known, so I'll repeat again. Midnight Essence wrote this. I did not. Have a great day. Whole bunch of stuff, blah blah blah. Let's see. Okay, so there's final chapters. Here we go. Chapter 36. I'm reading this. You can't see it, but it's here. I looked around in a depressed way. I suddenly saw Professor Sinister, Bloody Mary, Socrates, Draco, Vampire, and Willow were there too. OMFG, Sorius, I saw you and Samara and Snip and everyone. I can't believe Snap used to be Gothic. Yeah, I know, Sirius said sadly. Oh, hey there, bitch, Professor Travaleri said in an emo voice, drinking some Volxamort serum. Hi, Fuker, I said. Listen, Satan asked me out to a Gothic cornet and a movie, so I need a sexa new outfit for the date. I'm also playing in a Gothic band, so I need an outfit for that too. Oh, my Satan, gasped Bloody Mary. Want to go to Hot Topic to shop for your outfit? OMFS, let's have a group cutting session, said Professor Travaleri. I can't fucking wait for that, but we need to get some stuff first, said Willow. Yeah, we need some potions for Professor Travaleri, so we won't be get addicted to Volxamort serum anymore. And also some love potion for Anobi, Darko said resultantly. Well, we have potions class now, Willow said, so let's go. We went sexually to potions class, but Snap wasn't there. Instead, there was Cornelio Fuck. Hey, where the fuck is Dumbledore? Draco shouted angrily. Shut the fuck up, shooted Cornelia Fuck. He's an Azkabian now. With Snip and Lupin, he is old and weak and he has cancer. Now do your work. My friends and I talked angrily. Can you believe Snap used to be Gothic? Vampire asked surprisedly. That's it. Cornelio Fuck shooted angrily. I'm getting Professor Bridge. He stomped out angrily. Me, friends, and I began talking again. I began to drink some blood mixed with beer. Suddenly, I saw Hargrid in the cupboard. What the fuck is he doing? I asked. Then I looked at Draco. He was wearing tons of eyeliner, and he looked sexier than ever. Suddenly, Hargriff, what the fuck folk are you doing? He shooted. I looked around. Hargrid was putting something in my glass of blood. Darko, and Vampire started to beat him up sexily. God, you are such a poser, I shouted at Hargrid. Suddenly, I looked what he was putting into blood. It was amnesia portion. Chapter 37. X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X 666 X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X. Darko's point of view, lol. Vampire and I chained Hairgrid to the floor. Oh me fucking Satan, Anobi said. She was so hot. Maybe I could use amnesia potion to make Satan fall in love with me faster. But you are so sexy and wonderful anyway, Tata, said Vampire. Why would you need it? To make everything go faster, lol, said Anobi. But you won't have to do it with him or anything, will you? I asked jealously. OMFG, you guys are so scary, said Brittany, a fucking prep. Shut the fuck up, said Willow. Okay, well, anyway, let's go to Professor Travalri's room. Draco, Ebony, Ebori, and I went to Professor Sinator's room, but Professor Sinister wasn't there. Instead, Tom Ridd was. Oh, hi, fuckers, he said. Listen, I got some cool new clothes. I took out the clothes from the bag. It was a gothic black leather miniskirt that said 666 on the back, black Stilton boots, red blood fishnets, and a black corset. OMG, fangs, I said, hugging him in a gothic way. I took the clothes in the bag. Okay, Professor Sinister isn't her. What the fuck should we do? Asked Draco. What the fook should we do? Asked Draco. Suddenly, he loked at a sign on the black wall. Oh my fucking Satan, I screamed as I read it. On it said, everyone, Professor Sinister is away. She is too chaotic. She is in Azkaban now. Classes shall be taught by Dumbledore, who is back, but he shall not be principal for now. Sincerely, Professor Rumbridge. OMFG, I shouted angrily. How could they do that? Suddenly, Dumbledore came. What the hell are you doing in my office? He began to shoot angrily. Suddenly, I saw Morty McFly's black tin machine. I jumped seductively into it, leaving Draco and Vampire. Suddenly, I was back in Tim. I looked around. It was Professor Slutborn's Ephes. I sneaked around. Suddenly, I saw the amnesia potion on his desk. It was black with blood red pentagrams on it. It was the shape of a cross. I put it in my pocket. Suddenly, the door opened. It was Professor Slutgorn. OMG, what are you doing, fucker? He shouted angrily. I don't know what the fuck are you doing, I shouted angrily. Oh, sorry, I was just looking around because I thought it was class, you said, finally hoping it couldn't see the potion in your pocket. Finally hoping he couldn't see the potion in your pocket. Oh, okay, you can go now, said Professor Slutborn. You went to the conmen room after putting on my clothes. Silas, Samaro, and Snap were there practicing Vampires Will Never Hurt You by MCR. Oh, hi, you guys, I said seductively. Where's Satan? Oh, he's coming, said Sirius. By BTW, you can call me Hades now. Suddenly, Satan came. He was wearing a smexy black leather jacket and black Congress shoes, a Slipknot t-shirt, and a black tie. Okay, I will see you guys at the concert, I said, and then I went with Satan. Chapter 38. We're getting there. XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX XXX, 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 XXX. Satan and I walked to his car. It was a black car with pentagrams all over it. On the license plate, it said 666, just like Draco's car. I went in it seductively. Stan started to drive it. We talked about Satanism. Lols, he was named after Satan. Cutting, music, and being gothic. Oh my Satan. Gerard is so fucking hot. Volksamort agreed as we smoked some weed. Lol, I totally decided not to commit suicide when I heard Helena, I said in a flirty voice. Hey Satan, do you know the cure for when people are addicted to Volksamort serum? Well, he thought, I think you have to drink vampire blood. Suddenly, Volksamort parked the car behind a black movie theater. Satan and I walked outside. We went into the movie tether. Were they were showing The Exorcist. In it, a boy and a girl were doing it. Suddenly, a serial killer. Cereal spelled like the food. Serial killer came. Lol. Hold on. What? Satan and I laughed at the blood because we're sadists. While Satan was watching the movie, I had an idea. I took Satan's black gothic, spelled correctly this time, Black Nightmare Before Christmas cigar sexily from his pocket and put some amnesia potion in it. I put it back in his black Emily the Strange bag. Satan turned around and started to smoke it. Black clouds with red pentagrams, ind M, started to fly around everywhere. OMG, Satan said, jumping up. I guessed, because I was afraid he'd notice. Anobi, guess what? I knew that the amnesia had worked. Amnesia potion has not been invented yet, so it will not work, he said. Too bad, because I wanted to use some on you. Cool, I raised my eye suggestingly, and damn, he took off my clothes sexily, and we started to make out. I talk off his shit. He had a six-pack, just like Gerard Way. We Frenched. Excuse me, but you are going to have to leave, shooted the lady behind us. She was a prep. Fuck you, I said. Suddenly, I attacked her, sucking all her blood. Where was I? No, she screamed. All the preps in the theater screamed, but everyone else crapped because Satan and I locked so cute together. Satan and I started to walk outside. Christ on a crucifix, this is terrible. ZOMG, how did you do that? Voldemort asked in a turned-on voice. I'm a vampire, I said as we went into the car. Seriously? He gasped. Yeah, seriously, I said, drinking some beer. Satan started to drive the car. I smelled happily. It's too bad we didn't get to see the rest of the movie, don't you think? Yeah, I said as we kissed passively. Satan parked in a black driveway next to the place where Draco and I watched GC for the first time. We went inside where Marilyn Manson was playing and started to mosh, lol. Anti-people, now you've gone too far. Jesus Christ superstar, screamed Marlon on the stage. We did the devil fingers. I started to dance really close to Satan. He was so schmexe. He looked at me all emo with his gothic red eyes, and he noticed it. He looked at me all emo with his gothic red eyes, and he looked exactly like Mikey Way. I almost got an orgasm. There we go. Suddenly, Marilyn Mason stopped singing. I would like to present X-Black Tier X, he said. I ran on stage. Lucy and Samara, Snap, and Hades were there. They started to play their instruments. I got on Stag. Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say, I sang. My voice sounded like a pentagram between Amy Lee and a girl version of Gerard Way. Everyone clapped. Satan got an eructation. I'm not okay, I sang finale. Suddenly, Lucian started playing the song wrong by mistake. OMFG, yielded James. What the fuck? Whoops, I'm sorry, said Lucian. You fucking asshole, James shouted angrily. You guys are such preps, Snap said. Come on, it was a mistake. Yeah, it's not his fault, said Sirius. No, he ruined the fucking song, yelled Samaro. You guys stop, I shitoted angrily, but it was too late. They all began to fight. Suddenly, Samaro took out his knife. Oh, it's going off the rails. OMFG, no, shouted Lucian, but it was too late. James tried to shoot off his arm, and then I jumped sexily in front of the bullet. No, yielded everyone, but it was too late. Suddenly, everything went black. Chapter 39. I am a trolling genius, lols. Okay, it's actually going off the rails. No, this is oh, yeah, no, this is so this is another self-insert here. Reading this. So I'm going to read the author's note because nothing else makes sense anymore after this point. Yeah. I'm an extremely immature, pathetic idiot girl. I know. Out of boredom, I cracked this girl's passy for fun, and it took less than 8 minutes to do it too, and will probably get in a shitload of trouble, which I probably deserve because I'm being a troll right now. Meh. And I present to you my crappy part in the story. And take note, I haven't even finished reading this fic yet, but instead skip over to skim chapter 38. Whatever that means, those are words that are strung together in this story. I'm going to read this as if it's part of it. It's unclear if it is. Who cares? We're here now. I, the American retail-wearing British vampire Sue, coughed up blood. Satan kneeled down beside me. No, don't die. I gave him a rueful smile. Don't worry, it's something I had to do to fulfill my duty as the noble Gothic Mary Sue. Satan sobbed. I love you, Aboni. I love you too. I'll see you in hell, I mumbled, already finding my surroundings fading to black. Bloody Mary Smith suddenly popped into the room for no apparent reason. She frowned when she realized the room was oddly quiet, but at the sight of Aboni's lifeless body, she screamed. Her face became pale with horror. She screamed for the healers, Dumbledore, McGoogle, and every single Gothic person she could think of. Suddenly, a glow started to surround the body of Aboni. Everyone stared in shock. Her body started to lift ever so slowly, and then, to everyone's shock, it started to incinerate. When everyone realized what was happening, they rushed over to try and rescue the body, but it was too late. The Sioux became nothing more than a pile of ashes. A loud resounding of everyone bellowing, "No!" filled the room, while a flash of white light from the ashes started to bounce around the room. Everyone cowered in fear and were temporarily blinded. When it was all over, things changed. All the silly golf clothes dropped from everyone's bodies, and in their place, the clothes the characters would normally wear in the canon appeared on their bodies. When everyone got over the shock of becoming free of the Gothic power, everyone cheered. Everyone started singing Ding Dong, the Sioux is dead. Well, that is, until all the HP characters realized the true implications of becoming more canon-like again. All the characters... Oh, boy. All the characters who were supposed to be dead fell to the floor, their bodies cold and lifeless. Harry and Voldemort started dueling. On the left side of the two, the battle of the light side and the dark side were reaching a climax. And, because the replacement author likes to screw around with canon, Draco and Hermione fled the scene and got married. Meanwhile, down in hell, Ebony shed a single tear because of her current situation, a situation that would live on for all eternity, or at least until the end of fanfiction time. She lost it all, but she knew she had to remain strong. Nothing would ever break her down. She looked down over her pale body and frowned. Where are my emo clothes? She asked herself in confusion. And then it occurred to her. For her shirt, she was wearing a bright pink polo with a little seagull on it. Right or left? I can't remember. Side. Below that, she was wearing a denim miniskirt with the destroyed look on it. Paired underneath that skirt were leggings with a little moose at the bottom. And then Ebony realized on her shoulder she was carrying a pretty bag with an eagle on it that said, "Live your life," written all over the bag. Ebony suppressed the urge to scream. Here, she was decked out in clothes, prepped to the extreme, wearing stuff from Abercrombie and Fitch, American Eagle, and Hollister. Panicked. Hold on. Panicked, Ebony hastily tried to take off the Hollister polo, but underneath it there was another Hollister polo underneath. Ebony frowned and looked under her shirt. All she saw was a bra underneath. Dare I point out it's from the Airy line available at American Eagle? Dare I point that out? Ebony tried to remove the shirt again, but to her frustration, there was yet another polo to replace it. This is unlogical and does not make any sense, Ebony bellowed out to the air. She failed to see the irony in her statement, how hypocritical her words were, seeing as she was practically calling the kettle black here. Ebony slit her wrists and mumbled to herself, "Oh my god." / end crap fic. Oh yeah, if you want to see the... Okay, author's note here. Oh yeah, if you want to see the original content this chick had planned for this chapter, I accessed it through the document manager thingy, which I copied and pasted so you can read it here. Alright, so we're going back. So we broke canon. Everything returned to canon. Now we're going back to the OC that was written originally. So it's like old canon, new canon, old canon, new canon, I think logistically. Here we go. XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX gothic cough him. Hairgrid was into bed opposite me in a coma because Vampire and Draco had bet him up. Mr. Norris was cleaning the room. "Oh, me Satan, what happened?" I screamed. Suddenly, Volksamort came. He looked less mean than normal. "Get the fucking out, you fucking bastard," I yielded. "Thou hast not killed Vampire yet," he said angrily. Suddenly, he started to cry tears of blood. Al selective. "Volksamort? OMFG, what's wrong?" I asked. Suddenly, Lucy and Professor Sinister and Sirius came. Bloody Mary and Vampire were with them. Everyone was holding black boxes. Volksamort disappeared. "OMFG, Anobi, you're alive!" screamed Vampire. I hugged him and Bloody Mary. "What the fook happened?" I asked them. "Oh my Satan, am I lick dead now?" I gasped. "Anobi, you were almost shot," said Sirius, "but the bullet could not kill you since you were from another time." "But fangs anyway," said Lucian, holding out his arm. I gasped. He had 2 arms. OMG, I can't believe Vampire's dad shot you," I gasped. "Well, to be honest, Snap was possessed by Snap back then," said James. "Yeah, he was a spy," Sirius said sadly. "He was really a death dealer. And he was such a fucking poser," said Lucian. "He didn't even really know who GC were until I told him." Well, anyway, everyone started to give me presents. I was opening a black box with red 666 on it when I gasped. Mr. Norris looked up angrily because he hated goths. "Hey, has anyone fucking seen Draco?" I asked gothically. "No, Draco told me he would be watching Hose of Wax," said Professor Trevally. "He doesn't know that you're better. Anyway, Norris said you could get up. Come on." I got up suddenly. Try that again. Roll it back. 2 seconds. I got up suicidally. Lucian, Sirius, and Professor Sinister left. I was wearing a black leather nightgown. Under that, I had on a sexy black leather bra trimmed with black lace, a matching thong that said Gothic Girl on the butt, and sexy fishnets that hooked onto my thong. If you don't get the idea, massage me, I'll tell you. I put on a black fishnet top under a black MCR t-shirt, a black leather mini with black lace and Congress shoes. I left the hospital's wings with Bloody Mary, Willow, and Vampire. "OMFG, let's celebrate," gasped Willow. "We can go see Hose of Wax with Draco," giggled Vampire. "Let's go listen to GC and cut ourselves, 666, said Hermione. We opened the conmen room door sexily, and then I gasped. Draco was there doing it with Snap. He was wearing a black t-shirt with 666 on the front and baggy jeans. "You fucking prep," we all yielded angrily. "Yeah, you fucking betrayed us," shooted Vampire angrily as he took out his black gun. "No, you don't understand," screamed Draco sadly, as he took his thingy out of Snake's. Damn it. "No shit, you fucking suck, you preppy bastard." Just put this down. I'm also out. No, I need to make another. Christ. "No shit, you fucking suck, you preppy bastard," said Willow, trying to attack him. "You rock, girl." I ran suicidally to my room. I ran suicidally to my room. I sexily took a stakeout. "Anobi, no!" screamed Draco. But it was too late. I had slipped my wrists with it. Suddenly, everything went black again. Sincerely, an Anon author who will silently not reveal her identity because she's a coward. AKA just a troll with rocks for brains. Chapter 40. Lol, someone is taking my account over. The idiots know. Well, this was in the dock area. Might as well let the whole world see what the real Tara wanted to show us. Have a nice day. It feels like there's back and forth here. I'm not entirely sure. I recommend going to the link that I posted earlier and just being like, take a scroll through. Because nothing makes sense anymore. I'm lost. I'm purely confused. I think I don't know if this person got hacked. I don't know if this person, grew up and is, walking back statements, is, referencing themselves in the third... It fucking doesn't make any sense. But anyway, here we go. Let's roll this out. Chapter 40. I woke up in Norris's office with a special... Wait, no. We did this already. Hold on. Okay, chapter 41. We read chapter 40 already because it was technically leaked in chapter 38. This is more and more a drama than anything else. When I woke up, I was in a strange room. I looked around because I looked around. I was wearing the same outfit I had when is performed with Black Tear. I looked around confusedly. It was the nurse's office, but it looked so different. On the wall was a pic of Marilyn Marley and Munson. There was also a gothic black Beatles calendar with a picture of the Beatles wearing eyeliner and black clothes. On it said 1980. OMFG, I'm back in Tim again, I screamed loudly. Suddenly Satan... Nope, that's it. Suddenly Satan. Voldemort was wearing black leather Jackson, black tight jeans, and fishnet pants. He looked so sexy, I almost had an orgy. OMFG, Anobi, are you okay? He asked gothically. Yeah, I'm okay. For your animation, I snapped sexily. OMG, am I dead? Because I remembered I had jumped in front off the bullet from James's gun. Also remembered seeing Draco doing it with Snap. I guess that when I slit me wrists, I had went back in Tim instead of dying. I know I could go forward in time if I found a time turner or the Tim machine. No, you're not dead, Satan reassured suicidally as he smoked a cigarette sexily and smoke came all over his face. You're a vampire, so you can't die from a bullet. Come on, now, let's go see how Harry's dad is doing. I know that the real reason I didn't die from the bullet was because I was from the future. WTF, James almost shot Lucius, I said indignantly. I knew that James had really been possessed, but I didn't want him to know I knew. Yeah, but I know, but he had a headache. He was under a lot of stress, Satan reasoned evilly. I guess that's okay, I said, because James hadn't really shot Lucien. Also, I know that Lucien would now have 2 arms instead of 1. I walked seductively outside with Satan. Suddenly, I saw a totally sexy gothic bi guy. He had bleached blonde hair with black streaks up to his ears, and he was wearing gothic black eyeliner, a black Green Day shirt. It showed Billy Joel with blonde hair since it was the 80s. Black Congress shoes and black baggy pants. He walked in all sexily, like Jared Way in the video, for I don't 3 you like I did yesterday, and you could see a black tear on his face, like the woman in that video. Hey, he said all quietly and gothically. Who the fuck is that? I asked angrily, because I did not know him. This is Hedwig, said Volksamort. He used to be in Black Tier too, but he had to drop out because he broke his arm. Hey, Hedwig, I said seductively, even though I was not nut-tring to be. Lol hi, Anobi, he answered. But then he ran away because he had hair of magical creature. He was humming Welcome to the Black Parade under his breath. Bye, I said all sexily. That was Hedwig. He used to be my boyfriend, but we broke up, Satan said sadly, lucking at his black nails. OMFG, I can get you back together, I said, fingering something I didn't know was in my pocket. A black coot is what we aim for Cydio iPod that could take videos with. Okay, you can forget about class for now, Hedwig. I'm going to show you something great. I led them to the Great Hall. Come on, guys. Lucien, James, Sirius, and Snake were all in the Great Hall. Lucien wouldn't talk with James because he had tried to shoot him. Go fuck yourself, you fucking douche, he shouted at him. Draco is never going to be friends with Vampire now. Yeah, go fuck yourself, Samaro, Snape agreed, but I know he was lying, 'cause it had been his fault James had almost shot Lucien. Be quiet, you guys, I said sexily. Me plan was working out great. Now I could make Voldemort good without doing it with him. Now Vampire's dad would never die, and... Okay, Satan and Hedwig, you guys can start making out, I said, and started to film them with the iPod. This is not... Okay. Cool, said Sirius, as Voldemort and Hedwig started to make out sexily. I watched today started to make out... to take Otter's clothes off sexily. Samara, Sirius, Snake, and Lucian all watched because they were probably bi. I know Snape was bi. Oh my fucking god, Voldemort! Voldemort! Screamed Hedwig as his Glock touched Voldemort's. But suddenly everything stopped as the door opened and in came Dumbledore and Miss Norris. Chapter 42. How much further do we have to go? Oh my god. That's awful. There's a ways to go. Chapter 42. Black Parade. I sat depressedly in Dumbledore's office with Hedwig, Satan, James, Sirius, Snap, and Lucian. Dumbledore was sitting in front of us cruelly. He looked more young than he did in the future. He had taken the iPad away and was now listening to a shitty Avril Lavigne song. What the hell is this anyway? He cackled meanly. I hope he didn't find out that I was from another time. Whatever you do, don't blame Ebona, you jerk, Satan said. Yeah, seriously, she was trying to get Satan and Hedwig back together, Sirius said deviantly. Be quiet, you Satanist, Dumbledore cockled. If you're lucky, I'll probably send you all to Azkaban. That will teach you to copulate into Great Hall. He changed the song on the iPad to an NSYNC song. Suddenly, I noticed something strong about the iPad. It was slowly chonging. Dumbledore didn't notice. You fucking poser, I muttered. I bet you never heard of GC, James said. No, I knew what the iPad was chonging into. Morty McFly's Tim machine. Shut up, Joms. Fuck. God damn it. Shut up, Joms. Draco's dad shouted. Yeah, shut up, Snake said, preppily. No, you shut up, Dumbledore, said Tom. I've had enough of you Satanists in my school, shouted Dumbledore spuriously. Suddenly, I grabbed the iPod from him. Everyone, jump in before it's too late. I jumped into it, but only one otter person jumped in. It was Satan. You dunderheads, screamed Dumbledore wisely as we went. Hold on. God, this is awful. I looked around. I was in the Slytherin conmen room with Satan. I was wearing a black plaid miniskirt with hot pink fishnets, a sexy black MCR corset, and black stiletto boots with pink pentagrams on them. My earrings were Blake Satanist sins, and my raven hair was all around me to my mid-black. Hey, cool, where is Diz? He asked in an emo voice. Diz is the future. Dumbledore's iPod that he tried to take away from me was really also a Tim machine. Cool, what's an eye patch? He whimpered. It's something you use to listen to music, I yacked. OMG, cool. Wait, what's a four-letter word for dirt? He asked in a sexa voice. I guess sand, I laid confusedly. Yeah, I was just trying to make sure you were still the same person, he triumphantly giggled. Suddenly, some of my friends walked in. OMG, you're fucking alive, said Ginny, wearing a black leather jacket, black baggy pants, and a gothic black from first to last shirt. I explained to her why I was alive. Konnichiwa, bitch, said Willow. She was wearing a black corset showing off her boobs with lace all around it and red stripes on it. With it, she was wearing a black leather miniskirt, big black boots, white foundation, black eyeliner, red eyeshadow, and black lipstick. Hey, motherfucker, said Diabolo with his red hair. He was wearing a black P?ATD shirt, t-shirt, and black baggy pants. Hey, who's that, Ebony? Bloody Mary questioned as she walked in wearing a black t-shirt with a red pentagram on it with lace at the bottom, red letter pants with black lace and black stole toes. Oh, it's Satan, I told her, and she nodded, knowing the truth. Suddenly, Satan started to cry. Are you okay, Satan? We asked concernedly. OMFG, you're from the future. What if you don't like me anymore because we're from different times, he asked. No, I still like you, I said sexily to him. Okay, he said reassuredly. I let him listen to Teenagers by MCR on my iPod while I was about to go outside to find some things. I gave Diabolo a signal to keep Satan occupied. Satan fell asleep. I took the iPod. I was about to walk outside. Professor Sinister ran in. She was wearing a gothic black mini dress with depressing black stripes, white and black striped tights, and red Converse shoes. She was wearing lots of black eyeliner. Oh my fucking god, where's Draco? How did Snap get back here? I thought he was in Azerbaijan. I asked sadly. Ebony was so sad. Ebony, I was so worried about you, but I know you can't fucking die because you're a vampire. Snape came back because that girl Brittany freed him. I never liked her. She was a bad student, Travalry said reassuredly. That bitch. Did she also free Hagrid and Lupin? I shouted angrily. I hated Brittany because she was a fucking prep. That's terrible. Yes, those were on the. Yes, they are on the loose at this school. Dumbledore's back. Cornelia's on the way to help everyone. Tell everyone you see to lock themselves in the con man room, Travalry said worriedly. Okay, but where's Draco? How come he was doing it with Snap? I don't know why, but he almost tried to commit suicide after he saw you almost kill yourself, she said. Gee, that's terrible, I gasped. Satan was still asleep. Satan was still asleep, so he couldn't tell what was going on. Then I said, listen, everyone, I have something impotent to do. In her everyone's day. With that, I ran out. Good luck, Tara, everyone cried. I ran sexily down the stairs into the Great Hall, while the portraits looked around at me scaredly. There was hardly anyone else in the stairs, and there was an atmosphere of horror. On the way, pause for a second. Atmosphere is spelled correctly. Horror is not spelled correctly. I don't understand the grammatical errors in this whole thing. If you can nail atmosphere, which, has a couple vowels and a couple consonants in it, how do you screw up horror? Whatever. On the way, I saw Brittany laughing on the stairs. She was wearing a slutty pink shirt with flowers on it, a blue jean skirt, Abercrombie, and pink stilettos. She looked just like a pentagram of those fucking preps Hilary Duff and Lindsay Lohan. You fucking bitch, I shouted angrily. No, you're totally a bitch. Now Voldemort will, totally kill you, she laughed. Crucius, I shouted seductively, pontificating my black wand. And she started screaming because she was being tortured, and I laughed sadistically. No, help me, please, Brittany screamed terrifiedly. I put up my middle finger at her. In her hand, I saw the video camera Snape and Lupin had used to take a video of me. I put the tape of Voldemort doing it with Hedwig onto it. Then I continued down the stairs with the camera. When I reached the Great Hall, I saw Vampire Potter. OMG, Vampira, I yielded. We hugged each other happily. He looked at me with his gothic red eyes and spiky black hair. Around them were black eyeliner and eyeshadow. He was wearing a black leather Jackson, leather pants, and a Panic at the Disco concert shirt and his black Congress shoes. He looked more like Joel from Good Charlotte than ever. I was so worried you died, moaned Vampire. I know, but I'm a vampire, lol. When I woke up, I was back in 1980, so anyway, I bought Voldemort from when he was young with me. Where's Draco? I asked spuriously. Draco? You mean that fucking poser who betrayed you? Vampire snarkled with anger in his sexy voice. I know, but we have to find him, I said smarty. I'll do it then, Harry said angstily. Okay, I agreed. Suddenly, all the lights in the room went out, and then the Dork Mark appeared. Oh, Christ. Oh, my fucking Satan, Harry shouted. I think Voldemort has arrived, I said anxiously. Fuck, I have to find Draco. I guess we should separate. Okay, Vampire said, Okay, Vampire said, deapparating. Sadly, I ran into the Great Hall. Chapter 43. I walked sexily into the Great Hall. It was empty except for one person. Draco was there. He sat there in deadly bloom in his black 666 t-shirt and his baggy black pants. He had slit his wrists. I felt mad at him for having sex with Snape, but I felt sorry for him. He looked just like Gerard Way with his red eyes and his pale white face. Draco, are you okay? I asked. I'm not okay, he screamed depressedly. I thought of MCR's song and got even more depressed because that song always makes me cry. I gave him a pot cigarette and he started to smoke it. Yeah, because that's what those are called. That's a new one. Pot cigarette. Hold on. Getting a charger for the iPad. Having issues here shortly. Gave him a pot cigarette. Yep. 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 I gave him a pot cigarette and he started to smoke it. Oh, Draco, why did you do it with that fucking bastard Snape? I asked teardully. Draco began to say, but suddenly Lupin and Mr. Norris appeared into the room. They didn't see us. I'm so glad me and Snape are freed, said Lupin. Damn, this job would be great if it wasn't for the fucking students. Mr. Norris agreed. Papa diddle 'em. I yielded angrily, pointing at them. No! Lupin shouted as the chains came on him. Mr. Norris ran away. You fucking perv, I said, laughing with depths of evil and depressedness in my voice. Now you have to tell us where Voldemort is, or I'm going to torture you. I don't know where he is, said Lupin. Suddenly, Satan and Vampire ran into the room. Vampire didn't know who Satan was, really. Oh, my Satan, we were so worried about you guys, Vampire said. I looked sexily at Draco with his gothic red eyes with contacts, black t-shirt that said 666 on it, and pale skin like Gerard Way. Vampire with his sexy black hair and red eyes just like Frank Lero, and Satan who looked just like Brandon Urie then. I seductively took the caramel from my pocket, and then I began Frenching Draco sexily. Lupin gasped. Draco began to take all his clothes off, and I could see his white sex pack. Then Vampire took his own clothes off too. We all began making out together sexily. I took off my black leather bra, my black lace thong, and the rest of my clothes. Everyone took their Glocks out except for me. I'm a girl. Lol. Oh, me Satan, Draco, I screamed as he put his hardness in my thingy. Then he did the same thing to Harry. I began making out with Satan, and he joined in. OMS, cried Vampire. Oh, Vampire, oh, Vampire, I screamed. Oh, Satan, I yelled. Harry in pleasure. Lupin watched in shock. We took turns doing torture curses on him because we were all sadists. Suddenly, a big black car that said 666 on the license plate flew straight through the windows, and Snap was in it. Chapter 44. That's me car, shouted Draco angrily, but suddenly it was revealed who was in the car. It was Snape. I shall free you, Lupin, but first you must help me kill these idiotic Donderheads, he said cruelly from the car as it flew in, circumamsizing above us. Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Raven Way must be killed. Then the Dork Lord shall never die. You fucking prep, yelled Draco. Then he looked at me sadly. I forgot to tell you, Ebony. Snape made me do it with him. I didn't really have sex, but he's a rapist. We all put our clothes on quickly except Satan. We were so scared, but Satan didn't change. Instead, he changed into a man with green eyes, no nose, a gray robe, and white skin. He changed into Voldemort. Sorry, correction. He changed into Voldemort. I knew who thou were all along, he cackled evilly and sarcastically at me. Now I shall kill thee all. Thunder came into the room. No, please don't kill us, pleaded Vampire. Suddenly Willow, Bloody Mary, Diabolo, Ginny, Dracula, Fred and Gorg, Hagrid, McGonagall, Dumbledore, Sirius, and Lucian all ran at him. What is the meaning of this? Dumbledore asked angrily, and Voldemort looked away. He did a spell, and suddenly his broomstick came to him sexily. Voldemort flew above the roof evilly on his broomstick. Oh my god, Slughorn gasped. The Dark Lord should kill all of you. Then you must submit to him. Snape ejaculated menacingly. Hold on, let me try that again. Then you must submit to him. Snape ejaculated menacingly. You fucking... Ooh. 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 You fucking preppy F-slur, Sirius shouted angrily. I know a 4-letter word for dirt. Cruciatus. Screamed... I can't do that. Screamed Harry, but the sparks from his wand only hit Draco's car. It fell down, Snap quickly crawled out of it, and picked up the video camera. Oh my fucking god, I cried, because of the video of me in the bathroom. The video of me donging it with Draco, and the video of Satan doing it with... If you kill me, then these videos will be shown to everyone in the skull. Then you can just be like that gothic girl Paris Hilton, he laughed meanly. No, I scrammed. FYI, I have depictor of you doing it with Lupin. What's she talking about? Lupin slurped as he sat in chains. I saw she's gonna show everyone that picture, Harry shouted angrily. Shut up, Lumpkin roared. Foolish ignoramuses, yielded Voldemort from his broomstick. Thou shall all die soon. Think again, you fucking muggle poser, Harry yelled, and then he and Diablo and Navel both took out black guns, but Voldemort took out his own one. You guys are in a Latin standoff, I shouted desperately. Echo Neville's wand, cried Voldemort, and suddenly Neville's wind was in his hands. Now I shall kill thee all, and Ebony, you will die. He made lightning come all over the place. Save us, Ebony, Dumbledore cried. I cried sexily. I just wanted to go to the conmen room and slit my wrists with me friends while we watched Shark Attack 3 and Saw 2 and do it with Draco. But I knew I had to do something more impotent. Abracadabra, I shooted. Fuck it, why not? You know what? Why not? That's how it ends? Hold on. Excuse me? Excuse me? Chapter 14, Postface. A note from Midnight Essence. So that was the last update of my Immortal that I know of. I hope you all enjoyed that. I logged back into this account to laugh at my old fan fiction with my friends, mainly Neverending Night, the stupid Twilight fic I wrote when I was 11. And I saw that you were all still viewing this and commenting on it so many years later. That's pretty amazing. I'm sure the original author appreciates it. Well, bye now, friends. I hope you never have to read something as awful as my Immortal ever again. That's how it ends? It ends with the main character saying abracadabra? Are you shitting me? It was just, I want to go slit my wrists. Abracadabra. The fuck? Alright, whatever. I quit. I'm done. That's that. Nope. That's that. Let's put a pin in that one. Good God. I'm gonna take a break after that because that broke my head. Jesus Christ. That was... What do you mean 11 out of 10 ending? No. I wanted a real ending. We were getting to the climax of it. The whole resolution on... Yeah. I can't pretend. I'm glad that... Fuck. If that went any more, I would have slit my wrists. For real, actually. Christ. I'm gonna take a break, because everything hurts. My brain, my neck, throat, everything. It's all bad.